3 reasons why you should focus on systems instead of goals. If you didn't listen to the last podcast, I encourage you to do that. Hop back on that one because that leads into this. James Clear, New York Times bestseller, super badass. If you haven't heard of him, look him up. Just type in James Clear. I bet it's even jamesclear.com. I don't know. I've read his Atomic Habits book. I've read just about anything that he posts online. Super cool, and we're going to get into that. Why you should focus on systems instead of goals. Number 1, goals reduce your current happiness. When you're working towards a goal, you are essentially saying, I'm not good enough yet, but I will be when I reach my goal. Such toxic. You're good enough. Trust me. You're good enough. And this isn't some foo-foo bullshit. Listen to me. You're good enough. How can you say that, Jason? Because you know that potential lies in you. You have the answers inside of yourself. You don't need to go to see a guru. You don't need to read another book. How many books have you read? The information is inside of you. All it takes is that you build a realistic system so you can accomplish what you need to accomplish. That's it. It's just consistency and discipline is a thing that you need to work on. But you know you could do it. Deep down inside, if you said, if I committed and I did this every single day, I could do this. You know that. We all know that. Maybe there's something that, has, I was talking to somebody that had gotten into a car accident and it took them like a month to heal. Okay, during that month, there's a lot of things that you can do. Yeah, you're in tremendous amounts of pain, but, that circumstance is holding you back. But is it really? I talked to a lot of people and I can remember super low points in my life. Those are the points I learned the most. During that, perceived suffering is where I became really self-aware and really understood and became grateful for the things that we take advantage of every single day. And you learn a lot in those times. They're just learning lessons. But saying this, that I'm not good enough, it's just an excuse. It's victim mentality. It's a cop-out. I wrote about that on Instagram a while back. Whenever I have a victim mentality and I catch myself being like this little bitch, this victim mentality, whenever I have that bitchy victim mentality, and I picture somebody just, like a Karen type, just being super bitchy. No one likes that, right? That judging, critical bitchiness. Well, whenever I picture me doing the I'm not good enough, that's what I picture. And when that wants to take over, it's time for me to put an end to that quick. To stand up for my higher self and say, this is bullshit. This doesn't work. This thread that I'm running in my head right now is not real, and I am not going to listen to it anymore. Here's who I am, and here's what I'm accomplishing. I'm not good enough yet, but I will be when I reach my goal. It's just a victim mentality, guys. You got to take responsibility, 100% responsibility. Stop making excuses to be lazy based off of past external circumstances that happened to you. Yes, I know it was horrific, but the only power it has over you is the power that you choose inside of your head to give it. You can reach your goal. The past is the past. Leave it there. It's not you now. We've all changed dramatically. 5 years ago, totally different Jason than I am now. A year ago, different Jason than I am now. James Clear says the problem with this mindset is that you're teaching yourself to always put happiness and success off until the next milestone is achieved. Once I reach my goal, then I'll be happy. Once I achieve my goal, then I'll be successful. I see multimillionaires, billionaires do this all the time. I've talked to several. And it's like, I need more. I'm not happy. I need more. And so all they're doing is just constantly building, never appreciating anything that they do. And they're just constantly looking to that future, and they cannot be present. They cannot be in that, I like to call it a present future state. Abraham Hicks talks about this. Present future state. What does that mean? That means being present, having peace in the present, being mindful, self-aware, but also having this expectation of a positive future. I love that. So present, future. What does present look like? What does present future look like for you? Those are things that you need to contemplate, and these are self-awareness questions that you can ask yourself. This is not once I do this, then I'll be. Those are all excuses. Solution. James Clear's solution is commit to a process, not a goal. Choosing a goal puts a huge burden on your shoulders. And he talks about, and we talked about this, he wrote 115,000 words because he committed to doing Mondays and Tuesdays writing every single, and he did it for 52 weeks. He ended up writing 2 books. He just said, I'm going to write every 2 days a week because that's what he does. And he ended up writing 2 books. He goes, what if his goal would have been, I'm going to write 2 books for this year? It puts a burden on you. Can you feel that? A burden on your shoulders? I need to lose 40 pounds. Instead of, I need to go to the gym twice a week or 3 times a week. And I've gone twice this week. I need to go again. I'm going to commit to going today or tomorrow or Saturday, whatever the day is. I'm going to walk every single day for 45 minutes. I'm going to listen to podcasts, listen to books, whatever it is. Hopefully you're listening to this podcast. But we stress ourselves out by doing this, then I'll be. I got to reach this, then I'll be. It puts you in that future, and I've talked about this over and over again, it puts you in that future state of unhappiness, and it's just another way that your ego gets to give you an excuse. So if you're not happy now, then why the fuck even do it? You know what? I'm just going to watch Netflix. I'll just relax. HBO has a new White Lotus on. Great show, by the way. I love it. Both seasons amazing. But I'm just going to watch White Lotus. I'm not going to work out. I'm going to earn me watching White Lotus. That's how I do my TV watching, guys. Little tidbit here. I earn my TV watching. How did I do in my work today? Did I work out? Did I read in a book? Okay, yeah, I did. Okay, then I can watch TV. And I may watch 2 episodes, 3 episodes, 1 episode, whatever it is. And we do this to ourselves all the time, don't we? We place unnecessary stress on ourselves. Instead of keeping things simple, we always want to make things complex, right? If we had a daily process that was realistic and reasonable, I talked about that in the last podcast, and we stuck to the schedule, an easy schedule that we can easily do every single day, that through compound interest makes us better. Yeah, you want to lose 20 pounds? How about you walk for 45 minutes a day? Maybe you can't walk 45 minutes a day. Maybe you need to walk 20 minutes a day. Whatever it is. If you stick to an easy schedule, make it easy for yourself, and don't worry about these big life-changing goals that seem unattainable. When you focus on the practice instead of the performance, you can enjoy the present moment and improve on all the same time. James Clear wrote this. This is amazing. I'm going to say again, when you focus on the practice instead of the performance, you can enjoy the present moment and improve at the same time. Number 2, goals are strangely at odds with long-term progress. You may think you can keep motivated over the long term, but that's not true. If you're training for a marathon, people may work hard for months because they have a goal, and they may have committed to it and they've put the money down and they have other people that are going with the marathon with them. And that's the best way to do it because then you're committed. But if you don't commit and you don't do the registration and you didn't tell anybody, you're like, yeah, I'm going to do a marathon this year. What happens? What happens with that? There's nothing, there's no accountability, there's nothing, there's no discipline. You're going to end up not doing it. And James Clear talks about this being a yo-yo effect, where people go back and forth from working on a goal to not working on one. This type of cycle, that's what it is. Just understand, you don't have to judge yourself. It's just a cycle that people have. Makes it difficult to build upon your progress for the long term. So goals, a lot of times, will create this yo-yo effect, and then it makes it almost impossible to accomplish. Solution for this yo-yo effect, solution to this is release the need for immediate results. Release the need for immediate results. If you have a goal-based mentality, you're going to tell yourself, you know what? I've got to finish this workout. I've got to reach this goal. I got to do this. I got to do this. I'm going to do this. And if I don't do this, I feel like failure. But he talks about when you have a systems-based mentality, and you have trouble moving on, like maybe you go to the gym and you're just not feeling like it. Maybe you do a little bit of cardio and you lift a little bit of weights. You can say, you know what? I was at the gym today. I didn't do what I wanted to do, but I did it. And so I'm sticking to the progress. I didn't miss a workout. It wasn't my best, but it was good enough for me to stick to the process. You see what I'm saying? I stuck to the process. I went to the gym. I didn't feel like it. I went and I worked out. I got a little bit of a sweat. Give yourself credit. You stuck to the process. You see how that works? Because over long term, sticking to the process is going to create compound interest. You're going to see that the process always wins. And then number three, goals suggest that you can control things that you have no control over. You can't predict the future. But when we're setting goals, we're trying to predict the future. We're trying to plan out where we'll be and what we'll, and you know, how we're going to make it there. And we even said, here's my goal. And then I'm going to do this. Yeah. And then, you know, I'm predicting this and I'm predicting that. And then something hits, a circumstance or situation hits along the way, and then it derails your whole goal and you're done. How do you fix this? You build feedback loops. And he talks about, and I'm going to read from him. He says, each Friday I spend 15 minutes filling out a small spreadsheet with the most critical metrics for my business. For example, in one column, I calculate the conversion rate, the percentage of website visitors that join my free email newsletter each week. I rarely think about this number, but checking that column each week provides a feedback loop that tells me if I'm doing things right. When the number drops, I know that I need to send high quality traffic to my site. Feedback loops are important for building good systems because they allow you to keep track of many different pieces without feeling the pressure to predict what's going to happen. Look at your KPIs. Oh yeah, okay, the last month I went to the gym 3 times a week. I went 12 times last month. And I walked 10 times. Congratulations. You did the process. Long term, you're going to lose weight. Long term, you're going to be healthy. Long term, you're going to feel happier. Long term, you're going to have more abundance. Feedback loops are important for building good systems because they're keeping track of things that are important to you. He says, forget about predicting the future and build a system that can signal when you need to make adjustments. What do you need to make adjustments on? Just think of it that. Don't beat yourself up, make yourself feel guilty, tell yourself how horrible you are. Just say, hey, I need to make an adjustment. I need to make an adjustment. This isn't working. 3 times a week is not working going to the gym. I need to go twice a week. And then I'm going to walk 3 times a week. Let's try that. Let's make an adjustment. Feedback loop. I'm not able to get to the gym. I'm too busy at work. Maybe you need to adjust your work schedule. Maybe you're doing too much work. Maybe you need to have decentralized command. Maybe you need to empower your team more. Maybe you need to work on your leadership. See these feedback loops? How it's like, oh, why am I not able to go to the gym? Everybody else is able to go to the gym but me. And I'm too busy at work because you're putting out fires all the time. You're not being proactive in your work. So actually your gym is not the problem. It's your work. And it's your narcissistic view feeling that you need to be involved in every little thing and micromanage everything when you need to just dish off leadership. And you're like, well, my people can't do that. Well, then that's not being a good leader. You should be coaching your people, building them up. Oh, I don't have time for that, Jason. Well, that's your number one priority. Is you're doing everything. That doesn't work. That actually hurts your business. It hurts the bottom line. It hurts everything because you can only do so much 7 days a week. There's only so much you can do. Now you 5X that with 5 other people and you allow them to do things. It may not be perfect. We talked about this. I've had a whole podcast on perfectionism. I would rather it get done 70, 80%, done in a more creative way, have somebody else done it, have them take ownership of it, get it done. That task is done, that project's done, than me doing it at 100% and no one taking ownership of it but me. Allow your people to take ownership of projects. There's tons of podcasts I've done on this, on having meetings and you can DM me, ABQ Jason Rigby on Instagram, ABQ Jason Rigby on Instagram or Twitter, and I'll be more than happy to send you some links to those podcasts. But I encourage you guys, if you haven't heard James Clear, You can go to jamesclear.com. Anything that he writes, any book that he has, get it. I'm super excited about it. This has helped me tremendously with systems and helped me with process and feedback loops. I encourage you, it's not that difficult. Take the time, write out your systems, and you'll have the best year you can have in 2023.
Thank you for joining us on the Albuquerque Business Podcast. And thanks to our sponsor, RigbyDigital.com. Make sure to subscribe and share. And go to abqpodcast.com. Get show notes, resources, and links to everything we talked about today to help you navigate your journey as an entrepreneur and business owner.